You think you're lazy. You wake up in the morning with a list of things you want to achieve, a side hustle you want to start, a body you want to build, a skill you want to master. But by 10 in the morning, you're staring at a screen, scrolling through a feed of strangers you don't care about, watching videos you won't remember. You tell yourself you just need more willpower. You tell yourself you will start tomorrow, but tomorrow comes and the cycle repeats. What if I told you that your lack of ambition isn't a character flaw? You aren't lazy, you are being hacked. You are the victim of a biological hijacking that is systematically draining your drive, your focus, and your future. There is a silent killer in your room right now. It's not procrastination or distraction. It's something much more fundamental. It's the very molecule that makes you human, dopamine. But not the dopamine your ancestors used to hunt mammoths or build civilizations with. I'm talking about cheap dopamine. And by the end of this video, you'll realize that your lack of ambition is actually a biological defense mechanism that has gone horribly wrong.
Really funny guy, and he's in a band. His name is Robbie. Funny fucking dude. Loved hanging around with him. But just couldn't stay off the coke.
Wow.
Couldn't stay off the coke. And you could totally tell, he'd be honest about it too. Real grumpy, didn't want to talk, had a headache.
Yeah.
And, and he'd admit it, went off the rails.
Now, to understand why you feel so stuck, we have to look at how your brain actually works. Most people think dopamine is about pleasure. They think you get a hit of dopamine when you eat a burger or when you win a game, but that's wrong. Dopamine is not about the reward, it is about the pursuit of the reward. It's the chemical signal that tells your brain something good is about to happen, go get it. And in the wild, that was your greatest superpower. If you saw a fruit tree, your dopamine spiked, giving you the energy to climb it. If you saw a potential mate, your dopamine spiked, giving you the courage to approach. You had to work for your dopamine. The effort came first and the reward came second. This is what we call effort-based dopamine. It's slow, it's hard, but it's what built the modern world. But we don't live in the wild anymore. The modern world has already been built. We live in a world where you can get a spike of dopamine in 0.5 seconds by flicking your thumb. You don't have to hunt, you have Uber Eats. You don't have to socialize, you have Instagram. You don't have to create, you have TikTok. This is cheap dopamine. It's the Trojan horse of modern misery. Here is the terrifying part that most people don't understand. Your brain has a dopamine baseline. Think of it like a pool of water. When you experience something exciting, like a viral video or a sugar rush, your dopamine levels spike above that baseline. But the brain loves balance. It's called homeostasis. To compensate for that massive spike, your brain has to pull your dopamine levels below the baseline to reset. You end up with a low baseline. And when your baseline is low, you feel a chronic sense of boredom, anxiety, and a total lack of drive. The things that used to excite you, your big goals, your ambitions, now feel like a chore. You aren't lazy. Your motivation engine is literally running on an empty tank because you spend all your fuel on 15-second clips of people dancing. But it gets worse. It's not just your drive that's being killed. It's the physical hardware of your brain. Now, I'm gonna get a bit nerdy here, but bear with me. I promise if you just listen here, everything will make sense, as I'll explain it as easily as I can. There is a part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. This is the CEO of your mind. It's responsible for logic, long-term planning, and self-control. It's the part of you that says, I should study now so I can have a better life later. On the other side, you have the limbic system, the primal brain. This part only cares about right now. It wants food, it wants comfort, it wants dopamine. In a healthy brain, the prefrontal cortex is in charge. It steers the ship. But recent research has shown that heavy consumption of short-form video content and cheap dopamine actually reduces activation in the prefrontal cortex. Think about that for a second. The very part of your brain that is responsible for your ambition is being physically weakened every time you scroll. You're literally losing the hardware required to care about your future. It's like trying to drive a car where the steering wheel has been disconnected. You can hit the gas as hard as you want. You can have all the motivation in the world, but you can't steer yourself toward a goal because the CEO of your brain has been sent on an unpaid vacation by an algorithm. This brings us to the dopamine collapse. We are the first generation in human history to have infinite, high-speed pleasure at zero cost. For 200,000 years, humans had to fight for every scrap of dopamine. Now we are drowning in it. And because our brains haven't evolved to handle this much stimulation, we are seeing a global collapse in ambition. Why would you spend 10 years building a business when you can get a simulated feeling of success by playing a video game for 10 minutes? Why would you go through the pain of a real relationship when you can get a simulated hit of intimacy from a screen? The silent killer isn't the phone itself. This is the glitch that algorithms exploit to keep you hooked. When you scroll, you don't know if the next video will be the funniest thing you've ever seen or a total waste of time. This variable reward schedule is the exact same mechanism used in slot machines. Your brain stays in a state of perpetual wanting. You aren't enjoying the content anymore. You're just chasing the possibility of the next hit. You are a gambler in a casino that you carry in your pocket. This leads us to the most dangerous point in any journey, the 3-day wall. Have you ever noticed how you can be incredibly motivated for about 48 hours? You buy the gym membership, you get the books, you plan the schedule, you feel like a new person. But then day 3 hits. The cheap dopamine cravings start screaming. Your brain realizes that this new goal is actually hard work and it starts looking for the nearest exit. This is the point where 99% of people fail. It's not because they aren't strong enough, it's because their brain is physically demanding a return to the low effort dopamine they've been conditioned to expect. The silent killer wins on day 3. It tells you that one little scroll won't hurt. It tells you that you can start again on Monday. And just like that, the ambition is gone, replaced by the flickering light of a 5-inch screen. So how do we fix this? How do we reclaim our ambition from the puppet master in our pockets? Now, if you search on the internet, it will tell you that you need a dopamine detox. They'll tell you to go live in a cave for a week and stare at the wall. But let's be real, this does not work. The second you come back to the world, the cheap dopamine will be waiting for you. Instead, we need a dopamine realignment. We need to fix the hardware. And it starts with 3 simple but incredibly difficult system hacks. The first is the boredom practice. Most of us are terrified of being alone with our thoughts. The second there is a gap in our day, waiting for a coffee, sitting on the bus, standing in an elevator, we reach for the phone. We are clear caching our brains before they can even process a single original thought. To fix this, you need to practice being bored. Set the timer for 10 minutes every day. No phone, no music, no books. Just sit and stare at a wall. At first, it will feel like physical torture. Your brain will scream for stimulation. But after a few days, something strange happens. Your baseline starts to reset. You start to notice things. You start to think. You're giving the CEO of your brain, your prefrontal cortex that we talked about before, the space it needs to wake up. The second hack is the analog morning. The most dangerous thing you can do for your ambition is to check your phone within the first hour of waking up. When you do that, you are setting your dopamine baseline for the entire day. You're telling your brain, today we're going to be passive consumers. We're going to react to the world, not create it. By keeping your first hour analog, no screens, just movement, sunlight, and deep work, you are protecting your baseline. You're ensuring that your ambition tank is full for the tasks that actually matter. Now, the third and most important is the effort first rule. In the modern world, we've flipped the script. We get the reward first, and then we try to do the work. It never works. You need to earn your dopamine. Before you allow yourself a single cheap hit, you must complete a hard task. Write the page. Lift the weight, code the feature. By putting the effort before the reward, you are rewiring your brain to associate dopamine with achievement rather than consumption. You're turning your brain back into the high-performance machine it has evolved to be. Ambition isn't a gift. It isn't something you're born with or without. Ambition is a biological resource. It's something you either protect or you waste. Every time you choose the cheap path, you are selling a piece of your future for a 15-second laugh. Every time you choose the hard path, you're investing in the version of yourself that you actually want to become. The silent killer is real. It's in your pocket. It's on your desk and is currently winning the war for your attention. But if you've made it to the end of this video, it means your prefrontal cortex is still alive. It means that there is still a part of you that wants to win. So here's your mission. Put the phone down, go outside, be bored, do something hard, reclaim your focus, because your ambition is the only thing that can't be replaced by an algorithm. If this video made you realize something about your own habits, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like the video as well, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe for more deep dives into interesting topics. I'm here to help you take back control of your life.